deck. Hi everybody, I'm Sarah and this channel is about my journey training for the UTMB 72 kilometre Ultra, which I am very excited about. But before we crack on and get into the training and stuff, I just wanted to jump on here and give you a bit of background information about myself. So I have been running for about 18 years. It started with Graham, my partner, challenging me, like stupidly, to run 1.5 miles down to some traffic lights, which were around here somewhere, and back. And I thought, obviously, yeah, that's well easy. So off I went. I put on my Reebok Classics because I didn't have any other trainers. Ran down to the traffic lights. Well, I'll use run as a loose term. Sort of walk run. Anyway, I made it back. Realised that A, I was really unfit, and B, Reebok Classics are not running shoes. Since the Reebok Classic running days, I've obviously owned a fair few pairs of good running shoes, and I've done a fair few races. So from 10k to ultra distance, hang on, Freddie's just wrapping me around my legs. So my best half marathon was Reading in 2010, which I did a 1:48.19. I'm definitely not that fast anymore. And then the Brighton Marathon, which I think was in 2012, a 1:14 and something. I was injured then. I'll talk to you about that on a later video. My longest distance to date was the GU36, which was an island run in Guernsey. Basically, it followed the whole of the outside line of the island. It was beautiful, but unfortunately, I went into that race injured. Come on, Freddie. This way. Freddie. Okay, so as I said, I went into the GU36 with a sort of hip injury. Probably looking back, I should not have been running, but I thought, well, if it hurts for a couple of days after, it's worth it to finish. It happened. I think it happened because I mistimed my training and I'd done a pretty brutal marathon 2 weeks prior to it in Ross-on-Wye, which also I shouldn't have done. That was totally stupid. So I started the Guernsey Ultra and I thought to myself, if it gets too painful, I'll stop. But obviously people that know me knew that that was never going to happen. So I filled up on ibuprofen and paracetamol. Don't ever do that, stupid. And limped to the finish line in just under 9.5 hours. I was out of action, no running for about 3 months after. I was so depressed. I actually said to myself, 25k is my limit from now on. I'm not putting myself at risk again. So why a 72 kilometre mountain race, I hear you ask, when I'd said that I was only ever going to do 25 kilometres? Well, about 18 months ago, me and my partner, Graham, went over to Austria to a region called the Salzkammergut. And I kid you not, it is the most beautiful place I've ever been to in my life. Anyway, it turns out that UTMB were running a race there. So I ended up early this year doing the Mozart half marathon, which was stunning. The course was brutal but stunning. So this year, when the entries came out, I started looking at it again. I thought maybe I could beef up the distance a little bit. So I looked at the marathon and thought, nah, if you're going to do it, you've got to go big, haven't you? So I decided that the 72 kilometre distance was the way to go, which I have registered for. There's 3,300 metres of elevation gain, but there's a 20-hour cut-off time, and I think with the right prep, I can finish it uninjured. Right, so the plan going forward is I am going to write my own running and strength plan, because that's what I do for a living. I didn't mention that before. Which I'm going to keep an eye on my body and what my body's saying to me and change it if I need to. Problem with following a strict plan is you feel like you've got to do it or you've failed. If I feel any niggles, then I'll adjust the plan around it. If I go into the race and I have to, and I've got anything like that, this time I'm going to make sensible decisions. I'm not going to be stubborn. So what do they say? Train smart, not something. Smart, not stubborn. That's what I was looking for back there. So going forwards, I thought it'd be pretty cool to document the training process of training for the 72 kilometre ultra marathon without getting injured. So I was going to put out a weekly vlog of my runs, my strength training, what's gone wrong, what's gone right, warts and all. I'm not taking anything out of it, so you'll see the whole thing. So if you're interested in following my journey, you could like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. See if we can get to May 23rd, 2026 and finish the Mozart 72 kilometre ultra uninjured.